the reading for the day, for today. And it is from John Lennon. And it's titled Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. And so it is.
Welcome. Spirit is on the scene. I guess I should begin where I begin, with gratitude. I'd like to thank my mother and father, not for the gift of life, not for their unwavering emotional/financial support, but for this shirt I'm wearing. So I do this a lot. I talk in front of folks, and whenever it's recorded, my mother and father will watch it, and then I'll call them afterwards because I want to be praised. Now I want their honest feedback as long as it comes after praise. So this last time, a couple weeks ago, I was talking. I did the talk. I said a few things, and I thought I did a great job. I was like, I thought I knocked it out of the park. So I gave them a call. I said, Mom, Dad, so what'd you think? And my mom pauses. She never pauses. She always just, yeah, it was so wonderful, my baby. But she pauses. And she says, well, you need a new shirt. Apparently, she and my father had been watching me so much that they had grown accustomed to my shirt routine. Because I only have a certain number of outfits. They're not throwing money at me to do this. And so she's like, you have to get a new shirt. And I said, thank you. I'm glad the message touched you. I'm glad that, I could say something to change your life. So she bought me this outfit, and now she's watching, I'm sure, sometime today. Thank you for the shirt/life. Come on, guys. Woo! Wow. Were you bored with the shirts too? Wow. This is the highlight of the message, by the way. The clothes make the person. So if you're like my mother and father, and you've watched me over and over and over and over again, you might have discovered something. It's actually like a running gag amongst my community, what I consider my community, even though I move around a lot. There are certain folks I come in contact with over and over and over again. And it's like my community. And it's like this running gag. They always say the same thing. You only have one idea. Now, it's a good idea. And we like that idea, but you seem to only talk about one thing. Now, I want you to know that I don't try to talk about one thing. I don't get the topic and say, okay, well, now I'm talking about money. Let's see how I could weave my way through money and get to that one thing. Or today I'm talking about life and death. Let's see if I can weave my way through life and death and get to that one thing. Today I'm talking about inclusion. Let's see if I can find a way to talk about that one thing. So I don't try. It's almost as if this one thing haunts me. It follows me around wherever I go, and it just won't leave me alone. This one thing, this one fundamental truth just hunts me. I'm reading a book. I just read it, actually. It's called Accidental Saints. It's by a Lutheran minister named Nadia something. But she talks about, in a Lutheran context, she talks about Jesus hunting her down. That no matter how she tries to run and no matter how she tries to hide, Jesus just comes and smacks her in the forehead. Like she cannot escape that sense of grace. Now, I'm not a Lutheran, so I don't see Jesus in the same way she does. But I know exactly what she means. This truth, this godness thing, this one thing, this ultimate reality, I cannot seem to escape it. Yes! It's hunting me, and it's following me, and it won't leave me alone. And no matter how much I try to talk about other things, it just keeps coming back to this. And it's been happening for 25 years. 25 years ago, I had a slight awakening, okay? It was a huge awakening. And it was almost like stepping in quicksand. And I didn't know it was there. I didn't know it was coming, but it got a hold of me. And over the last 25 years, that reality, that one thing has been pulling me into it. And yes, I try to struggle, and I try to fight against it and say, no, I want control over my life. I want to know what's going on. I want to be the one in charge, not that one, this one. In my best moments, when I let go, it just pulls me in. One thing, one annoying, ever-present, beautiful, peaceful, joyous, life-changing thing. Now, I don't have 25 years to talk to you today. I have 25 minutes. But what I thought we would do together is I would walk you. Bless you. Yes, I won't walk you. I will bless you by helping you into this quicksand and help you get a glimpse of this one thing. Now, it might not work. You might walk with me on this journey and be like, me. That's cool. You might just catch a little bit of a glimpse and go, wow, wouldn't that be nice? It might overtake you. I don't know. I have no control over what's going to happen. But I'd like for you to take a 25-year journey with me in about 25 minutes. And it starts right now. Okay. Look around. Go ahead. Look around. Ooh. So handsome. So pretty. Is that Michael? That's the guy who sang that song. Look around. Okay. All right. What do you see? What do you see when you look around? Folks. You see folks. Welcome to North Carolina. I see folks. Folks. Yes. You see people. I see unique people. I see different skin tones. You didn't have this mustache last time I saw you. Unique. I see different hair types. I see different faces, different clothing. Your mother bought you a new jacket. I see so many different people, and I see different expressions. And if I look hard enough, I can even see different emotions. I can see the weight that some of you are carrying. I can see joy. I can see interest. I can see slight boredom. But seriously, you don't just see people. You see emotional states. You see energy. You see the way people are acting, the way people are moving. You see what they're carrying with them. see chairs, little candles on the wall, doors, lights. This is what you see when you look around. And you don't just see the people, you don't just see the physical things, you see your mind. Because as you're looking at me, you're thinking things about me. You're not just looking at me. You're looking at me through the window of your mind. You're looking at me through the window of perspective. You're judging me. You don't try to, but you are. You're labeling me. Oh, there's that minister guy. He's slightly quirky, kind of funny. Nice shirt. This is what you see when you look at me. You don't just see me through your eyes, through your nose. I smell good. You see all these things, but you see me through your mind, through your mind's eye. That's how you see everything. Your senses, these 5 senses, are bringing you data. Your mind is interpreting that data and telling you what it means. You walked in here today and you said, candles, spiritual, groovy. I've been here before. You've never been here before. You walked in and said, ooh, weird. Weird, new agey. Yes, everything you see in this moment, brought to you by the senses, interpreted by the mind. That's what you see. Welcome to the moment. A completely unique moment. This moment will never be again. It never was, and it never will be again. It's completely unique because of what you see. Because it's a completely unique collection of people and chairs. And in just a moment, it'll be completely different. Now you look around, it's changed. Because this has changed, and because this has changed. That's it. Welcome to reality. A human reality. A human moment, interpreted by the mind, brought to you in human terms. I would like to challenge that. I would like to disrupt that. I would like to shatter that. It took me 25 years. I'm going to do it for you in a matter of minutes. In The Matrix, I love that movie, Neo, our hero, is living in a dream world. A dream world given to him by impulses in the mind by a machine. He meets a guru by the name of Morpheus. And Morpheus says, I have something to offer you. The truth and nothing more. Take this pill. He takes the pill and immediately his understanding of reality is shattered. The impulses are shattered. And he realizes what he sees is not exactly what is. It's time to shatter your reality. It's time to take the blue pill. Now, this might be slightly uncomfortable, and that's why I use humor so much. This might be slightly uncomfortable for you. But this is it. And like Morpheus says, I offer you nothing more but the truth. Let's start with you. Hands. Fingers. Hand, fingers, thumb. Feet. Legs, body, eyes, brain, mind. One thing. Simple, isn't it? You've been living your whole life as one thing. You're a person, right? You're a human being. You are this one thing. But did you know that you are an entire universe of forms? Rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling. You are subatomic particles. You are cells, you are molecules, you are bone, you are blood, you are organs. This one thing is not one thing at all. This one thing is an entire universe of forms. The Hindus have a word or an idea or a being called Purusha, the self that is sacrificed and cut apart to make the world. Purusha's hands become the mountains. Purusha's feet become the valleys. Purusha's blood becomes the Ganges, the primordial spirit. This is you. If you can imagine yourself laid out, you are an entire universe, forms rising and falling, coming in and out. No actual boundaries, no actual solidity, no actual self. You use computers? Purusha, Hindus. Psst, I've got a better analogy. You use computers? You're a musician, you don't use computers. You ever heard of DPI? Dots per inch. When you draw a person with a computer program, it's just one person. And then you go to your inkjet printer or your laser printer, inkjet printer, and you print that out, and you have an image of one person. But that one person is not a solid image. It's just a collection of dots. Dots per inch, 300, 600, 900. The images you see on your computer and printed out on that form, whether it's a person, a tree, or a pumpkin, or a kitty cat, is not a solid image at all. It's just a collection of dots. That's you. Just a collection of dots. Forms coming in and out of reality, an entire universe. Andy, this thing, this solid thing, is actually not a solid thing at all. It is changing, it is shifting, it is moving. And that is just the physical reality. I also have a mind. Oh, my mind, this one solid thing, this one thing called the mind that I live my life in, that I look at you through, not so solid. Your mind is just a collection of dots, thoughts, memories of the past, anticipation for the future, interpretations of the moment. You take that entire collection of dots, and you will find in that collection of dots an image that looks a lot like you. We call that the ego, the self. Everything I am, everything I know myself to be is just a collection of dots. I know, it's getting a little uncomfortable. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. There's a term in Buddhism called no self. No self. There is no self. Everything I think I am is a thought or a collection of thoughts. Everything that my body is just a collection of forms rising and falling within another collection of forms. What if you could look around this room and just see dots? These dots, touching these dots, touching these dots, touching these dots, with no division, all rising and falling, one reality, shifting and changing and shifting and changing. And it's starting, Bill, to feel slightly uncomfortable, isn't it? I want to tell you why it's slightly uncomfortable, and I want to tell you why there's a part in the back of your head that doesn't want to listen to me. I want to tell you why there's a place in your mind that's shutting me off right now, saying, no, it can't be. I'm a real person. The reason is because the mind, seeing this in a human way, it's easy. There's Sean. There's a chair. There's Larry. As long as I'm seeing this in my human mind, in my own human way, then I can organize it, I can understand it, I can even seek to control it. This is that room. I've been in this room before. This is me. This is you. Simple and easy, but only the bare minimum of what's actually going on right here, right now. Remember when I told you how unique this moment is? It's actually far more unique than you can even imagine. You are a collection of innumerable forms rising and falling and constantly changing. You are a miraculous expression of God every second of your life, and you're always new. Brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new. This chair, my God, this chair is completely different than the last time you saw it because the molecules that make up this chair are constantly moving. This is not the same chair. And as long as your mind says, I've been in this chair before, it's going to miss the frickin' miracle of sitting in a chair. This is it. I'm in a chair. These dots sitting on these dots with absolutely no division. The reason it's uncomfortable is because we are trying so desperately to hold on to a human view of reality. And I get it. I get it. It's important. But beneath that is the truth that this is just forms rising and falling, and we can never completely grasp the miracle of this moment. The reason that thing in your head that's still saying, shut him out, that's why I'm talking louder, is because I don't want that thing to win. It's my competitive nature. I want to win. That thing in the back of your head wants to understand all this. It wants to know what's going on. Not just here, but when a church blows up in Australia, your mind grips for control. What is happening here, and what can I do about it? How can I control this moment? When a child is born and that miracle of life comes from, not me, ladies, one of you, but you want to grasp the miracle of that moment and you want to hold on to it. You want to know what's going on here. You want to know, you want to understand, but the miracle of the moment is you'll never get it. You'll never know. You'll never understand. And those last threads that are starting to break in your mind right now are the threads that are trying to hold on to this illusion that you have any idea what's happening here. You don't know me, and I don't know you. Not really. I don't know what you are. How can I look at you and know the miracle that you are? How can I know this universe of forms? How can I possibly grip what is happening when I look at you? How can I know that? How can I know myself? You ever wake up in the morning and say, I have no idea what's going on? These thoughts, these forms, my body is changing. I don't recognize myself. How do you know what's going on? Isn't it exhausting trying so hard to know what's happening? Trying to see your mother and say, I know exactly who you are. You know, I've known you my whole life, but I'm looking at you and something deep in here is saying, you don't know her. You don't. She's a universe of forms rising and falling as you are, as this is. There's one more thread. There's one more thread you're holding on to, but we're going to sever that. And then I'm going to give you your life back, I promise. There's one more thread. If you look at something without any desire to know it, without any desire to control it, without any desire to obtain it, the last thread breaks and you fall into witness. If I can't know you, if I can't sum up what you are, if I can't describe you, if you are more than a human thought in my human mind, if you are dots and I am dots and you are a miraculous happening in a universe and I can't know you, then what the hell can I do in this moment? What's left? Nothing. You see, we slip from a slight discomfort into a place when that last thread breaks where all of a sudden you feel lost. Completely lost. Because what's happening around you, you can't sum up, you can't contain, you can't describe. There's no division, there's no separation. There just is. And if I can't describe what's going on here, what can I do? I can witness it. Plain and simple. I can witness it. I can just look at you through these human eyes that are a collection of cells, through this human perspective that's a collection of forms, in this room which has air molecules, and look at you, which is just a pile of neurons and molecules and cells, and I can witness you. Sitting in front of me, completely new, brand new, and miraculous. And in that witnessing, in that pure, single experience of life, the truth breaks in. The one thing. That's why I'm here. That's why I did this. That's why I created all this. That's why I became forms rising and falling. That's why I became universes and war and pain and suffering and joy and newborn babies and old, sick, dying dogs and blades of grass and fire ants. That's why I became all this. Just so I could witness it. That's why you did all this. That's why we did all this. The one thing becomes the many, just so it can witness the many. The one thing becomes the many, just so it can experience the many. That's why I did this. The truth is not something we can describe. The truth, capital T, is not something we can talk about. The truth, this thing we call God, Tao, Source, Spirit, it's not even something we can see. But it is something that witnesses. Look around you. So many things. One thing. So many things. One thing. The many comes out of the one and goes back. When you leave here today, you will go back to normal, I promise. You will see cars and people and children and trees and sky and sun. You will see all of that. And that's cool. You're a human being having a human experience of life, and that's the way you organize things. Cool. And you may never speak of this again, this experiment. And that's fine too. But if you would like to, and I invite you to do this, once a day, once every couple of days, whenever you feel up to it, I want you to walk outside. I want you to look out and just imagine for a moment that it's just one thing. That the divisions between stars and people and blades of grass is merely created by your mind. And that they're all just forms arising around one thing. And then go back inside and have some coffee and get on with your life. But just try to imagine for a moment that it's all one thing. The Buddha under the Bodhi tree, Jesus in the kingdom of heaven, Lao Tzu in the one. all seeing one thing. All right, why don't you pray with me for a minute? So many things. One thing. So many things. One thing. I am thankful for the gift of life as it surrounds me, as it moves through me, as me. I'm thankful for the many. I'm thankful for this universe of molecules that I am within this universe of molecules that is everything. I'm thankful as they come in and out and in and out. And I'm thankful that I am able to witness them. I'm thankful for the one experience of life, the singular experience of being alive. I know I'll never understand it. I know I'll never be able to grasp it, but it is, and I accept that. And my acceptance unlocks the kingdom of heaven. The many in the one in the many. The many in the one in the many. And so it is. Amen. And thank you so much for listening and walking with me these 25 years.